What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. So glad to be back with you on another episode of AH Live, and we are back live. Last week, if you remember, we pre-recorded the episode because we were in Racine, Wisconsin, outside of Milwaukee, and oh my goodness, we have so much to talk about. Kat and I did 6 shows in 5 days. It was quite a whirlwind, but it was such a blast. Huge thanks. I'm sure there's some people watching that were at one of those shows last week. Thank you to everyone that came out. We hit Racine, Wisconsin, Rochester, New York, Elmira, New York, and 2 days in Norfolk, Virginia. And it was just an absolute blast. So great to be out playing for you kind people. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we have an incredible guitarist all the way from Colorado in the house, Gregory Goodloe. This is his second time on the show. He's got a new single. It drops Friday. And so he's going to perform that for you, and I got a chance to catch up with him quickly as well. So can't wait to hear from Gregory. Thanks for coming through again. And don't forget, click share. We want to spread the good vibes. We're here every Wednesday, 73 weeks and counting. It's crazy to say that, but it's because of you guys and your support. We appreciate you. Speaking of support, all you Indiegogo people, we have almost all of your orders fulfilled. We're going to be dropping them in the mail tomorrow. So we were able to send maybe 10, 20% of them last week, but we're getting all of them done early, ahead of schedule. And so excited for you guys to hear the new record and get your perks and whatnot. So anyways, before I digress, let's get to a little bit of music just to get us started. And I picked up a tune. I played it once before on the show, and it was so much fun, so I decided to bring it back. This one's a cover, a tune that I reimagined for you guys. And later in the show, I'll play another tune off of the new record for you as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun today, but we're going to get warmed up with an old favorite of mine. It's called People Make the World Go Round. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting warmed up here on a Wednesday with a little People Make the World Go Round. As I mentioned, we have the incredible Gregory Goodloe in the house with brand new music. I guarantee you've never heard it because the song's not even out yet. It drops on Friday and comes out Monday. I had the distinct honor of producing this tune for him and co-writing, and it's a very, very fun tune. So excited for Gregory. Real quick, just remind you guys, if you want to help out, we've got Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can do stars, and also if you click the link in the description, you can get to my website, and you can get to where you can get all of my records, including the brand new one, Rising Up. You can pre-order it through my website, and we will get it out to you ASAP. We've got a bunch of copies here in anticipation of the release. The official release is September 10th, so the only place you can get it right now is at adamholly.com. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything, 73 weeks and counting. And without further ado, hope you enjoy Gregory Goodloe.
All right, what's up, Gregory? Welcome back to AH Live. How you been?
I've been great, man. Thank you for having me come back a second try.
Man, no, it's my pleasure, man. It's great to see you again. And yeah, last time we talked, you had the tune Steppin' Out coming out. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Steppin' Out was a great tune, man. And I really enjoyed, making music with you, man. You're fantastic.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. You sound fantastic. And Elon Trotman was featured on that, did an awesome job with the sax. And yeah, they were spinning that tune for a while. So, really happy for you and appreciate the opportunity, man. So since then, fill us in. What have you been up to since we last caught up with you? I know you had some shows that just popped up, which is great. We're all excited to get out and finally perform for some real people, which is great. So just give us an update. What have you been up to the last several months?
Mostly trying to finish up my next CD, getting music for that together, and coming out with the new release that's coming out. And I did a few festivals, and it was, like you said, it was good seeing people again, being able to hit that stage, man, and feel the energy from everybody. And that's basically what I've been doing, a few private engagements and, just trying to stay focused during, these times.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I saw some great footage of you. You were it was the Keystone Festival, right?
Yeah, Keystone. Yeah, Keystone was a great event, man. It's kind of like a wine tasting event. They have several groups that are there, and people are walking around tasting different kinds of wine, and it's really a great festival. Keystone, Colorado.
Exactly. Where is that? Is that somewhere near Denver?
It's about 2.5 miles out, like on your way going to Winter Park.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's going that same way out, maybe about 2.5 hours from Denver.
It's funny you mentioned Winter Park because I remember seeing you there, and man, how do you deal with that altitude? Well, maybe it's easier you living there, because for me, Marcus Anderson and I did a set together, and I had to take a break. I looked at Marcus, I said, "Hey man, you got it," and I went over in the corner and sat down. It was intense. Are you just used to it at this point?
Hey, I couldn't tell, man. I was at that show. That's where I met you.
Right.
And you were running, man, all in the audience. And it was like you were from the Mile High City. Didn't need no oxygen. I'm so used to it, man. The thin air, I love it. I've been down south before, and I get down south and I feel like I can't breathe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because I'm born and raised here.
Okay.
It doesn't affect me any, so it's great.
That's wild. And talk a little bit about that. Growing up there in the Denver area, what is it like in terms of the music scene? What were you getting into, and what has that been like for the progression of your career?
The music scene here is great. Colorado has a very diverse music scene. So there's so many genres of music, and it's grown so much within the last, I would have to say 5 years, that there's always places to play. There's always different people to reach, and people that you haven't seen before, and different events that you haven't seen. So Colorado it's a beautiful state. I love it here. I love seeing the mountains, the change of the weathers. We get all the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, and it's beautiful.
I feel like that's a dig on me being in SoCal with our one season. But I know what you mean. It's so gorgeous up there. Every time I'm up there, it's just so beautiful. And it's nice. It's nice to see the change of the weather. I'm from Oregon, so I grew up with seasons.
Oh, okay.
The rain is what got it for me. I was like, I can't. It's just too much,
Yeah.
But no, I agree. It's always gorgeous up there, and so much great music. I remember playing up there. I'm trying to remember the name of the club, but I went and did a set, and then before me was like a Latin jazz band, and it's like you've got everything up there, and of course bluegrass and country and great jazz artists. So
you have
definitely
Nelson Rangel's down here.
Yeah,
saxophone player. Gerald Albright, he moved down to Castle Rock. So we have a lot of musicians here, a lot of smooth jazz artists and up and coming, artists. So it's a cesspool of great musicians and great people and different genres of music.
Yeah, no question. And Darren Ron, of course, is up there as well. So a lot of great talent. So we talked about stepping out with your last tune. Now, this Friday, in just a couple days, this new tune will be available. It goes for ads on Monday. Tell us about the new single.
Wow, the new single, man, it's kind of hard to describe, because when I first had the song in my mind, I could only see it one direction. And then once you got a hold to it, you kind of like, okay, this is the direction to go. And I had to actually take myself out of the song to see what you were doing. And and it was great. It's a great tune. It's a feel-good tune. The song is basically a belief that, to me, things are going to get better than from where they are now. For me, somewhere out there is kind of like the old fantasy, somewhere over the rainbow. There's something better to come, something better on the other side. So I believe that during this pandemic that we have, the COVID that's lasted for at least 18 months strong, there's another side somewhere out there, somewhere beyond. Yeah, we're going to come out on a great side of all of this. So that's where the song kind of came from. And hopefully it's a feel-good tune and people will see it and feel good. Hear it and feel good and be about it,
100%. No, that's a fantastic sentiment. It's funny you say that. I felt the same about the project I have coming out, and just wanting to have just a feel-good vibe. So, we talked about it enough. Let's hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gregory Goodloe with Somewhere Out There. Awesome, man. Well, it certainly is feel good and so excited for you. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you can get the song in 2 days. On Friday, it'll be on all the DSPs, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. And it goes for ads. So ask for it at your local station. It goes for ads on Monday. Appreciate you, Gregory, for coming through. Just remind us. I know you were here before, but we can use a reminder. Where can we find you online?
You can find me online. I'm on Facebook, Gregory Goodloe music page. I'm on IG, Instagram. I even have a LinkedIn page if you want to contact me over there. Or just, my website is www.gregorygoodloe.com.
Awesome. Well, check it out. It's Gregory Goodloe. The new tune is somewhere out there. Thanks so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
Oh, yes. The one and only Gregory Goodloe. Man, appreciate you, Gregory, so much for taking the time to record that incredible tune. As I mentioned, look for it. You can grab it Friday, and it's going for ads Monday. So request that one at your local station, and look out. Somewhere out there, Gregory Goodloe. Well, you guys know what time it is. It's time to bring in my lovely wife on the cat cam. Here she is. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm all miscombobulated.
You are. You're doing fine. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I literally just got home like 30 minutes before we started the show. So
you're doing just fine.
I'm
You're doing
figuring
just
it all
fine.
out again.
I was wondering too, you were out and about, and then she texted me. She said, I'll be back right before the show. I said, okay, all right.
Yeah. I had to take Adam Jr. to the doctor. He had an appointment. We could talk about that later.
Okay. It's okay. It was a
Well, I guess we can talk about it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he had been complaining about knee pain early last week, and we just thought because he had a really hard training session with his basketball trainer, so we're like, you're just sore. And of course we were out of town all week from, when did we leave? Last Monday?
Oh my gosh, we left Tuesday.
Okay.
We were gone 7 days.
Yeah, we were out of town, and every time we FaceTimed Adam Jr. and talked to him on the phone, he said that his knee was really hurting, and he had to ice it and put cream on it and everything. And so my mom, Grammy, she said, you know what? I think this kind of looks like Osgood Slaughter, because my sister played travel softball growing up and had the same thing, and she said it looks exactly the same and the pain he's describing is the same. So she took him to urgent care last week, and that's what it was. So he had got a ton of x-rays done, and he had gotten a knee brace, had to take a week off of basketball and PE at school. If you guys are not familiar with it, the old, I guess, correct way is Osgood Slaughter, because it was founded by a German doctor. But now we just say Osgood Slaughter. And it's when kids, it's very common in between the age of 11 and 16, which is right where little Adam is at, and they're very active and they have like a massive growth spurt, which he's definitely had. It's where the body is growing way faster than the bones. So in his knee, his leg is stretched out, but the bones haven't caught up to that length. And so there's like a muscle that connects from the top of the kneecap to the bottom, and it has nothing to like hold it. So every time he jumps or runs, it's like stretching. And there's like a gap in between the kneecap, and that's where the pain is coming from. But, when he turns about 14 and 15 and all the calcium starts to build up a little more in his body, that will make the bones more dense, and then it will like come together as the bones grow further and catch up with his body. And so it's very common. It's nothing, too crazy to worry about. It's just very common with kids that are growing and are very active with athletics. And so he had to do a follow-up appointment today, and he's getting another brace that I have to pick up tomorrow, and he can resume his basketball and PE at school. They said it's just he's gonna feel pain here and there, and if it gets really bad, he just has to take a few days off like he did this past week, and then just ice it. But he'll be okay. He'll deal with the little pain until he's a little more aged in his teenage years.
Yeah, and he's right at that age. He's sprouting up. I was growing by leaps and bounds right at that same age. And it's funny too, this morning, I didn't tell you, but he came in to my office. I was working on some music, and he said, "Look, Dad, I'm getting muscles." And he was flexing his right bicep, and he said the whole week we were gone last week, he was lifting weights. So he's going for it. He's getting he's starting to put me to shame. He's got a bigger bicep than I do.
I know, he's so cute. Juanita Canley says used to call it growing pains before we knew what the real thing was.
Exactly.
Which is so funny because I do that a lot. Adam Jr., he'll fall or say something hurts, and I'm like, you're okay. And he told my mom, he said, "Oh, I'm so glad you were here, Grammy, and you took me to the doctor, because my parents wouldn't have taken me. They would have just said that I was sore from my workout and just to ice it." And I was like...
Well, and I saw somebody, Creston Jordan, he said, "Grammy is so wise." So, sometimes things are meant to be. We were on our tour, and then he got diagnosed properly. So
right.
So,
I felt a little defensive with that. And I said, no. I said, if you would have complained long enough, I think I would have eventually taken you.
Right, yeah. The attrition. Oh, that is too funny. So that's what's up with our home life.
Yeah.
But what were the people saying about Gregory Goodloe? What's the vibes out there?
Well, so many people were saying, welcome back, Gregory. They loved seeing him again.
Yeah.
And hearing a little bit more of what he had to say. And so many people were just commenting on when you guys were talking about the diverse music scene in Colorado.
Nope.
And I actually had no idea that it was that diverse. However, I can see that because it is a very diverse place with particular people there because just of like the surrounding states.
Yeah, no, 100%. Every time I'm there, I have a great time. I've had a bunch of really great shows. In fact, see, look, these segues just keep falling in our laps. We are going to be in Colorado this weekend. Let me throw up the tour schedule. Saturday night, we are going to be playing the Weekend of Jazz in Colorado Springs, the Earl Clue festival that he hosts. Of course, he has two of them. He has one in Colorado and one in Kiowa Island out in the Carolinas. So looking forward to seeing any of you that are going to be there this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Incredible lineup. Actually, the day we play is Spyro Gyra. Oh, no, I take that back. The day we play is Jeffrey Osborne, Boney James, and then we're playing. So it's going to be a blast. Next weekend, Labor Day weekend, we've got Gulf Coast Summerfest in Pensacola. Then we'll be in Tulsa, Jazz in the Green. Then we'll be in the Low Country Fest in Charleston, South Carolina. And I'm just trying to look down through here and see if there's any new ones. Oh, there are. Let me flip over to page 2. From last week's episode. This is new. Hub 757 in Suffolk, Virginia. It is a Christmas show. Very excited. All-star Christmas show. A bunch of artists there. Nathan Mitchell, Isaac Bird, a bunch of, I think there's like 15 artists or something. And so Suffolk, Virginia, not far from Norfolk. Hope to see you guys down there. It's going to be a lot of fun. T Senior Management is putting that on. I think the rest of these have been up here for a while. So as always, just go to adamholly.com to get all the dates and look forward to seeing you guys out on the road.
You know that one place that the other Earl Clue Festival is in?
Kiowa Island, yeah.
Kiowa Island. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. Because it looks like a huge plantation campus. I mean, the building is beautiful because, like, it's old architecture, but...
You know what this reminds me of?
I have visions of, like, my ancestors, like, running around on the land back in the day.
This reminds me of what Grammy said the other day. She said, "You'll just say anything on AH Live," and it's true.
Well, I mean, it's just, it came to my head,
Right.
and so I thought of it.
Okay.
But I can't be the only person that thinks about it when they see something that looks like
But we have
a
it now.
plantation house.
We've taken it over now. We have jazz there every every fall. So
And the food is really good
oh
there.
my goodness.
Yeah.
We ate everything. We actually got there an extra day early. Normally we'll fly in the day before the show. We actually flew in 2 days before the show, and we literally ate everything. It was unbelievable.
And you know what? My ankle had got swollen.
Well, because we were in all that soul food. It was
My
like
ankle had got
grits.
swollen, and I was like, and that was when you did the show with Marcus Anderson. And Marcus was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I don't know." I said, "My ankle is like so tight. I think it's swollen." And he's like, "It's the food."
Yeah.
And I said, "I think so, because I don't know if it was earlier that day or the previous day I had shrimp and grits." And
Right,
so
yeah.
I think it was
Well, we had shrimp
all
and
the
grits
butter
every day.
and salt and all that in the
Oh.
southern soul food
Right.
cuisine.
Well-
Wesley Taylor on my comment about Kiowa said, "Well, it is the Old South."
Right. Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
South
thank you,
Carolina.
Wesley. Thank you. He understands.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, so back to Gregory. And you guys did start a conversation in the chat when you were talking about the seasons. And so Gregory was just saying how he loves the Colorado mountains and then going through all of the seasons throughout the year. And of course, here in California, or SoCal, I should say, we get two.
Right.
We get 2 seasons. So it's either really hot or it's cold, overcast.
Who
and
was
rainy.
it that commented? They said our 2 seasons are either smoky or clear.
That was Ellen Nakata Harper.
Because we have so many fires here. It's so crazy. There's one. I mean, we live in the desert, so it's not going to get to us. So don't worry. But we can see it from our bedroom window. It's maybe, I don't know, what, 10 miles away or something. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I took photos, but I forgot to get them to Adam. So we'll show you next week.
Because we
Yeah,
have a ton of
because
photos from last week. So
There were 2 fires. There was one I could see out of my bedroom window, and then another one out of the loft window because they were on opposite ends of the freeway, like in the mountains.
Mhm.
It was crazy, and it's still super smoky and just muggy outside.
yeah.
Okay. When Gregory started playing his song, Somewhere Out There, immediately everyone was throwing up hearts. Everyone was throwing up the fire emojis. So many people said they loved the vibe. Connie Epley said, love the upbeat vibe.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's a great summer tune.
Yeah, it is. That's
it's
nice.
still summer,
a
right?
Tune.
Yeah, it's August. It's summer until September 21st. So
It's still summer.
no, definitely
Yeah.
great upbeat
So
vibe.
many people loved it, and they were really excited about the
Yeah.
new music, and kind of had like a little exclusivity, hearing it now.
Yeah. No, you cannot get it until Friday. So, on Friday, make sure to go into iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, etc., and grab it. And then it'll be going for ads on Monday.
Going for ads. Back to the seasons, Kurt Schmidt says, pretty much 2 seasons in Michigan, winter and road repair.
Wow. Winter and road. That's funny. That's funny.
You know what? I have grandparents that live in Romulus,
Right,
Michigan.
yeah.
And my older sister and I would go almost every summer and visit them. And I remember one of the last times I went, I think I was like 16 and I had went by myself. And I had told my grandmother, I was like, you guys have not finished these roads yet? Because as long as I could remember.
I think it's ongoing as opposed to
as long as I could remember, the lights were
Right.
never working. There's always cones in the street, and she's super close to the airport. And I'm like, there's never,
Right.
not construction right here. So you are right, Kurt.
That is too funny.
So yeah, so everyone really loved the song. I wish I could have written down everything that everyone was saying, but
Well, it starts flipping through fast
I
because
know,
people were digging
but
it.
it was exactly the same sentiment. They
Yeah.
just loved the vibe.
Definitely. 100%.
And it's like totally a feel-good song. And like you said, it's a great summer tune.
It's a summer tune somewhere
Mhm.
out there.
And it's nice and fresh. And then again, people loved hearing the new music and they were excited that Gregory was back.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
And someone asked at the very top, when does his album come out?
he's still working on it. It's still a work in
Oh,
progress.
okay.
So right
So
now,
that answers your
yeah.
question.
Right now, the main thing is the single on
Mhm.
Friday.
Why are you laughing?
No
Oh,
reason. No
I
reason.
thought you were laughing at me.
Oh no. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna hear about that after. Why
Oh.
were you laughing at me on air?
No, because I thought that maybe you had already explained
No,
that,
no.
but I just had remembered someone had asked that, and I put a mental note to make sure to ask you.
Too funny. Well, should we get to our pictures from the past week?
Yeah, because
So
we have a bunch, right?
We have a lot. In
Okay,
fact,
we'll go
I
through
had
them
to
fast.
I had to program I had to program all these slides because there was like twice as many as we've ever used.
Right.
So as I mentioned, just a little precursor. We did the 5 shows, but we also met up with some family before we headed out. I think that was on Sunday night, or was that Saturday night that we went down to downtown Disney?
Friday.
Friday.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this was from a week and a half ago.
From a week and a half ago.
So we went down and we were hanging out at the Jazz Kitchen. We got some beignets, some
yes.
New Orleans style food.
Yes. So this is my aunt, Erin, but our family calls her Angel, and that's my uncle Anthony, and they live in New York, but they were out here for one of her distant cousin's weddings, and she was like, I have to come to this wedding. I don't care if it's in a pandemic, because he's like in his mid 50s and first time getting married. So she's like, I know this chick is the one. So they made the trip from New York out, and then they spent the day at Disneyland. And a little bit after we got Adam from school, we went down there towards the evening when traffic died down, and met up with them at downtown Disney, which is kind of just like a boardwalk, which is right on the side of the entrance into Disneyland and California Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free admission, and they just have a ton of restaurants and a ton of shops. Pre-COVID, they always had a huge stage in the middle of the boardwalk, and there would just be different acts every day, all day, just doing live music.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really cute and fun stuff for kids, and then it's indie stuff, and so it's really fun. So we just went down there and just hung out for a little bit. We got some Jamba Juice, had some beignets. We saw fireworks. Adam Jr. went to the Lego store, got some Legos.
Oh, he had quite a bounty. We have a picture of him taking his his bounty back to the car. So he got a BB-8, a remote-controlled BB-8, which was the robot from the episode 7 of Star Wars. And he also got a Baby Yoda Lego, which he has yet to construct because he's been playing with the BB-8.
And it has almost 2,000 pieces.
Oh, he's going to work it out, though.
Yeah,
He's gonna work it out.
he's been doing those size Legos for a few years now.
Oh, yeah.
And they look amazing whenever he gets done
Yeah,
with
he
them.
did a Millennium Falcon. He did an X-Wing. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So let's see. What do we have up next? Oh, this is him doing his basketball training from last week. And, of course, we mentioned the knee.
Yeah.
So we're going to push through that.
So when he's doing private training right now, because the group training, there's kind of a lot of kids. And as you can see, it's indoors. And both us and Adam Jr. felt more comfortable just doing the private. But he does want to try out for the club league. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's kind of dangerous right now. But we'll see.
And then this was our first stop on our trip last week. So we played in Racine, Wisconsin, but we had a band out of Chicago. Incredible players. And so we flew to Chicago and rehearsed with them, and then drove up to Racine. And we had Chris Mescal on drums, which if you've seen Brian Culbertson in the last 15 years, he's been playing with him. We had Colin Clausen on keyboards, who plays with Nick Corleone a lot. Marquel Jordan, the incredible saxophonist and vocalist. Also, we toured with Brian together. And we had a new bassist together who ended up playing with us with 2 days' notice. He did a great job, Nick. And so, yeah, we had an awesome show up there. This is us. This is me grabbing a picture of Kat with her knocked out on the plane.
And Adam said that he tried to wake me up for the photo, and I would not wake up. And
Yeah.
I don't even remember you nudging me or anything.
Well, you were gone.
So I was getting in my Z's before the craziness even happened. I was
got
trying to
to.
catch up before I needed to catch up.
And then this is us on stage in Racine, and there's so many great pictures. Go on my Facebook page if you want to check them out. But it was an awesome outdoor concert. 1,800 people came out, outdoor amphitheater in Racine, and it was such a blast. So that was show 1. This was actually show 3. We didn't grab any pictures, I guess, from Rochester, but we had an awesome show in Rochester as well at the Club at Water Street, which was their first show since the pandemic. Then we drove up to Elmira, New York, and this picture is from that. That's Andrew New on saxophone. He played for my show, and you remember him? He came on with Rob Zinn a couple months ago. A to Z, they have their project. So we had an awesome show in Elmira. This is the theater. It was so gorgeous.
So gorgeous. And these pictures are courtesy of Vaughn and Lynn Stupart.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Vaughn and Lynn came down and hung out. Thank you so much. It was so good to see them.
There's
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
And look for his single coming out very soon, Boogie Down. Really awesome saxophonist and even better guy. And Lynn is also super awesome. So it's so great to finally meet them in person. We've been chatting over the phone endlessly for the past year or so. So it's so great to see them
And there's
finally.
Lynn.
They drove up from Pennsylvania, so it was awesome to see them.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It was so great to meet you.
And also in Rochester, we had people in the house too. We had Louise Clyburn, who she's over the Juneteenth in Buffalo. So it was awesome to see her. Thank you for coming through, Louise. Let's see. Here's another picture from Elmira. Althea Renee sat in on the show and did a tune. So that was a lot of fun as well. So a lot of stuff happened. Okay, so this was in Norfolk, Virginia. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm even leaving out the craziness. So I mentioned we lost our bass player 2 days before Racine. We got another one. He came in, did a great job. The morning of the show in Norfolk, Virginia, at the arena, the Norfolk Waterfront Jazz Festival, our keyboard player called me. He couldn't make it. We had to find a keyboard player with about 8 hours notice.
Yeah.
And this gentleman came in, Casey Square. Shout out, Casey.
Hey, Casey.
He killed it. Oh, my goodness. It might have been better than if he had had the music earlier. So he did an amazing job, and we had so much fun. Let me see. I lost track of where I was. There. Oh, there we go.
There we are.
So this is at the arena there in Norfolk, and myself and Jakeem Joyner did a co-bill and just had such a blast. It was so much fun. There's a picture of me and Kat dueling with the bassist, Ken
Oh, and
Friend.
there's Casey. You can see down at the bottom left.
Yeah.
There's Casey. And he was just like so calm and smooth. Even like at rehearsal, Adam said he didn't even really have any questions. He just was a great reader, and he like literally saved the day.
He really did. He really did. Here was the CD line. I was just so humbled and honored. We just had, 111 CDs fly out of the box. So just really feel fortunate for the excitement and for the support out there for the new project. And people they were grabbing all the CDs and the vinyl and whatnot. So it was a lot of fun. Here was the last show. We were at Brothers, which is a brand new jazz club in Norfolk. It is run by Tony Brothers. He's an NBA referee. And so it was polar opposites. We did the arena, and then we did an intimate jazz club, which was so much fun. And we had some friends in the house as well. And she made sure to let me know I've been mispronouncing her name for about a year. So,
It's
Leon and Willie Lee. I guess I've been saying Leon this whole time. So I apologize, Leon. And so it was so great to see you guys and hang out and more pictures from Brothers.
This is Tammy and Joseph England, also at Brothers.
Yes.
And they stopped by and saw the show and hung out at the CD line, took pictures.
It was awesome. It was so much fun. And this gentleman We would be dead without this gentleman. His name is Felix, and he was just there every step of the way, grabbing us at the airport, getting us back and forth from the hotel to the venue, helping out in between shows, helping us drag our stuff up and down the stairs, you name it. So shout out Felix. He was just super awesome.
So sweet.
This is him dropping us off at the airport at about 4 in the morning, and he seems like way too alert for that.
He was just so sweet.
He was the nicest guy.
Yeah, he really was. Thank you so much, Felix.
And then I think this is from, was this yesterday morning or this morning?
So I threw these in here because we went from our crazy 6 shows in 5 days, 7-day tour, and then we're back to, our home life within a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So we're driving Adam Jr. to school at about, 7:20 a.m. And Rufus usually comes along for the ride in the car. He looks pretty happy right there.
And then here's Rufus. He's got his head out the window.
Head out the window.
And you caught him in the mirror. That's a cool picture. You got kind of stylized there. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. So that's me sitting in the passenger seat. Adam and I like to take Adam Jr. to school together. Sometimes, or actually it's only been a few weeks. So
he just went back. This is just his 3rd week back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But we just like to have that time to take him. But that was Rufus sitting on my lap in the passenger seat. And as you saw, I only had the window cracked a little bit because Rufus does not know how to act. He gets very, very excited, and he'll keep inching up a little more out, inching up a little more out. And then before you know it, if you're not paying attention, half of his body is out of the window. And there's been times where we've had to really catch him because I don't know what he's thinking. He wants to jump out.
He's not. He's like, oh, this air smells good. And then he's just going for it.
And Adam Jr. gets so nervous. And so we just, crack the window just a little bit. And just so his head and front paws can go out. That's it.
Oh, it's too funny. So, no, we had an incredible time. Huge thanks to all the promoters that had us out last week. All of them were just incredible. Really, really welcoming. And thank you to everyone who came out and supported the shows, grabbed CDs. It was just a really, really magical, incredible week. And also last Sunday, I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago, we played down in Temecula, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
With Michael Paulo and Daryl Williams and Tatang. That was only a week and a half ago. That seems like it was like 5 years ago. But no, we had such a blast. So if you count that was like 8 shows in 10 days or something like
I know.
that.
So these are comments that people were saying.
What are they saying?
In relation to our very, very busy week.
Yeah.
Gregory Goodloe says, "You're the hardest working man in smooth jazz."
Oh, you're too kind, Gregory.
Diane Otley Johnson says, "Glad you made it back safely." Yes, thank you so much.
That was the other calamity I didn't mention.
What?
We did the show in Racine. We wake up at about 3:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take a flight to Rochester. I get a message from my airline, Southwest. They said, your first flight's been delayed 2 hours, which then means we're going to miss our connection to Rochester. So I called up Southwest. I said, hey, I'm going to miss my connection. They said, yeah, we can rebook you for tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? The gig is today. So I had to cancel that flight, buy a same-day flight, but out of Chicago. So then we had to hurry up, throw our bags in the car, and drive to Chicago and catch that flight. And so it was super crazy, but it worked out.
Very crazy. And every single day, whenever we would do a show and get done with the show, we would have anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours worth of sleep because we either had to drive a little ways to the next airport to catch the first flight, or we had to catch the first flight. So I think for about 4 days, we probably had a total of like 8 hours of sleep.
It was wild. It was wild.
Very wild. Yeah. And so Gene Scott Keller says, you guys are the highlight of our week. Thank you guys so much. Vicky Dennis says, I don't know how you guys do it. I never see you drinking a Red Bull. Where do you get all of this energy?
Well, here, let me pull up the guitar cam and show you guys. So Kat just got this for me. This is my espresso cup, and I think I've had 3 of these today.
It's a little blurry.
Let's see.
There you go.
There we go.
And it says Chicago because I literally bought it the other day when we were leaving, because Adam and I had to part after our first flight home. So from Norfolk, we took a flight together to Chicago, but Adam had to go to Orange County because he had to teach his first day of the semester at college.
So I flew back from Norfolk and went from the airport straight to teach the first day of the semester down in Orange County. So it didn't end.
Right.
Monday was not a day off where I got back and rested.
So from Chicago, Adam went to Orange County, and then from Chicago, I went to the airport close to our house. And when we parted our ways in the airport, I was like, oh my gosh, I miss him. It's so weird because we're together all the time. And when we're not together, I have like separation anxiety, kind of like with Adam Jr. at school now.
You're so sweet.
So it was like a little weird.
She misses me.
And I was in the line at Starbucks and I saw the cup, and then I realized that you can never find your espresso cups at home. So I was like, well, he needs another one anyway.
And this one's great because it's interesting. Depending on the material, some of them stay warm better than others, and this one really keeps the espresso warm for quite a while, which was great.
Right. The ceramic or glass really keeps it warm.
So I've definitely had 2, but I think I've had 3 today, and it's very necessary.
And then to add on to where do you get all this energy, I really don't know. I think it's the adrenaline because we know that we have to be somewhere and we can't not be there. And then there's the excitement and the rush of actually doing the show. But then, too, you know, we try to eat really healthy. We drink a lot of water. We take a handful of supplements when we're at home and on the road. But when we're on the road, we take them twice a day just so we can, you know, upkeep it. And then, of course, exercising. Although we don't really get enough. This week we didn't exercise at all, but we didn't need to.
Well, we were sweating. We were sweating all week. But this week is going to seem very luxurious. We're going to fly. We're going to have one flight. Get in the early evening. Then the next day, we don't have to be at soundcheck till 6 p.m., so we sleep all day. Then the next day, we don't have to wake up early to get home, so it's the opposite of last week. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to not be running like crazy.
Everyone is commenting that they are so glad to see us wearing our masks in our photos, but you guys already know, we are not playing around with this Rona or the Delta. I mean, come on now. It's really crazy, and it's so crazy how some people think that this is a joke. I don't understand, but no. I mean, especially now because things are just surging even more, we're definitely careful. Because, you know, when we come back home, we just don't come back home to a house to ourselves. You know, we have Adam Jr., we have Grammy, and then, of course, ourselves. So, we just want to be safe. And Leon, I think this is from Leon, yeah. She says, excellent sounds when you were playing your opening number.
Oh, thank you.
And she says, it doesn't sound or look as though you and Kat played 6 shows in 5 days.
Well, I don't normally have an espresso during the countdown screen, but I did today. I was feeling it. But man, did it hit. It hit hard, and I feel good for this show. So
I feel a little guilty because yesterday when we got home, I was able to rest, you know, for a few hours while Adam was working.
Must be nice.
However, I stayed up until 1 a.m., you guys, trying to get, you know, a good chunk of Indiegogos done while you were snoozing.
Just so you know, Kat does all the beautification, all the pretty preparation of all the Indiegogo, and I'm the postmaster, so I've been doing the postage. So give us the update. Are they all packaged, or how many do we have left?
They are not all packaged. I think I have maybe 10 that they are together. So what I do, I'll look at everyone's name and what should be in their box. So I get it all together. If it's just a CD, I put the CD with our thank you card and then the tissue paper that I'm going to use and a sticker, and I put it to the side, and then I put a piece of paper over it with their name. And then if they have a t-shirt, sheet music, I get all of that, stack it together, put it with the tissue paper, put it to the side, put their name. So that way I'll probably grab like 10 envelopes, and then I'll just wrap everything, put it in the envelope, and then put their name back on top of the envelope, put it in a pile. That way when Adam does the postage, because we have a
I was about
weight
to
scale.
say, we finally, it's the 4th time we've done crowdfunding. We got a scale, we got
Yeah.
a thermal printer. We can print on the actual sticky
The shipping label.
shipping labels, and it's incredible.
So,
and then you
yeah.
just drop them off at either the post office or UPS, and you're
Right.
done.
So Adam, he'll take one from the stack and he'll see the name on it. He'll look in his computer for the name, and then he'll put in the address with the postage and everything, and it just prints right out. So it's very efficient, but it does take a lot of time because I like to double check everything. And then whenever something is like stacked in its pile, I'll put like a mark on my sheet. So I know that, okay, it's over there, it's ready to be packed. But then when I actually pack it, then I'll write packed. And then when it's actually labeled, then I'll put another symbol, meaning like, okay, it's labeled and it's over here on this table. So there's just a lot of, you have to be very organized.
Yeah,
and,
no, 100%.
And, yeah.
But-
so it takes a little time.
But the good news is, as she mentioned, all but 10 have been packed. So we're going to get those shipped out tomorrow. And so you should be getting them very, very soon. We're way
Yeah.
ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Which we're very excited about because we appreciate you guys and want you to get your items as soon as possible. So
soon as
we should have
possible.
almost all of them, if not all, shipped by tomorrow. And any of the ones that we don't quite get to till we go to Colorado, we're only out for 2 days, so we'll get the rest of those top of next week. But thank you so much.
We'll be done tomorrow.
Oh, well, there you go. You heard it from Kat.
Everything will go out tomorrow.
You heard it from Kat. So everyone will at least have been shipped by tomorrow. And so you'll be receiving them by the end of the week, or depending on how far you are, if you're on the other side of the country, maybe early next week. So
and everything would have been done today, but I had to take Adam to the doctor, so it's just a few.
yeah. Awesome. Well, I know there's a million Ask Adam questions, but we're going to have to get to those next week.
Okay.
We had so many pictures and so much to unpack from our incredible week. So Kat always does an amazing job holding on to those. So we'll get to those next week.
We'll get to them next week.
And we'll go from there. So thank you so much, honey, as always.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, and it is that time to mention who's coming through next week. I am so excited. He's an incredible artist, and he was nice enough to be featured on my new album, Rising Up, and he agreed to come on the show next week. Yes, I'm talking about Julian Vaughn. He's on the new album, Rising Up, and we will have a duet prepared for you to debut the song that he played on from my new album. So excited to have Julian back in the house. He came on very early in this show's infancy, and so this is maybe a year later that he's coming on. So Julian Vaughn next week, Wednesday, September 1st, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. He is incredible, as I'm sure you all know. And one more reminder, if you want to help us out, we make it super easy. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Stars. You can click the link in the description. You can also get to my website and pre-order the new album, Rising Up. Officially releases September 10th, so the only place to get it right now is from adamholly.com, but you can also pre-save it in Spotify and Apple Music, so check that out, and the new single is available on Apple Music and iTunes as well. So appreciate you guys so much, and speaking of which, I want to do another tune from the new record. This is one I played maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's so much fun, I'm going to do it again. It's a tune called Undeniable. my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a distinct honor to hang out with you on another Wednesday. Huge thanks to Gregory Goodloe for coming through. Don't miss next week, Julian Vaughn and a world debut of another tune off of Rising Up. Hope to see you all next week and have a great evening. Good night.